What were the consequences of the Bay of Pigs invasion? Have you ever wondered how a single event can change the course of history? The Bay of Pigs invasion in April 1961 is a prime example. This operation was a failed attempt by Cuban exiles, backed by the United States government, to overthrow Fidel Castro's communist regime in Cuba. The consequences of this invasion were far-reaching and had a lasting impact on U.S. Cuba relations, Cold War dynamics, and international perceptions. First, let's talk about the embarrassment it caused for the United States. The operation was poorly planned and executed. Cuban exile forces were quickly overwhelmed by Castro's troops. This failure exposed American involvement and weakened U.S. credibility on the world stage. President John F. Kennedy had to take responsibility for this fiasco, which damaged his reputation early in his presidency. Next, the invasion actually strengthened Castro's position in Cuba. Instead of weakening his government, it boosted his legitimacy and popularity among the Cuban people. They rallied around him as a defender against U.S. aggression. This solidified the communist government in Cuba and strengthened its alliance with the Soviet Union. The failed invasion also heightened tensions between the United States and Cuba. It pushed Cuba closer to the Soviet Union during the Cold War. This alliance was significant because Cuba's location made it a strategic point for the Soviet Union. The failure of the Bay of Pigs invasion directly contributed to the conditions that led to the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, a major confrontation that brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. Furthermore, the invasion strained U.S. relations with Latin American countries. Many nations in the region viewed the U.S. action as imperialistic interference. This led to increased anti-American sentiment throughout Latin America, making diplomatic relations more challenging. Lastly, the Cuban exiles who participated in the invasion faced dire consequences. Many were captured and imprisoned by Castro's forces. Their releases became a diplomatic issue, eventually resolved when the United States negotiated their freedom by exchanging medical supplies and food worth millions of dollars. In summary, the Bay of Pigs invasion was a humiliating defeat for the United States. It reinforced Castro's rule, deepened Cold War hostilities, and set the stage for the Cuban Missile Crisis. This event remains a vivid reminder of the high-stakes tensions and dramatic conflicts that characterized the early 1960s.